Okay, 6-point loss in the end, mate, but that was a cracking game of football, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I mean, two very good teams, two really evenly matched teams, and had the ebbs and flows in the game. And probably in the end, that period in the second quarter where they got on top around the ball, we dropped away from how we want to play when that situation in the game happens. It's an area we know we can get better at, and probably in the end that was the difference in that they were able to get those couple of late goals in the second, get out to that 20-point lead, and there's a few things in that last quarter, like we were well out in front, and little things change games in big ways, and we led them back into the game, and they were good enough to capitalise.
I thought you spoke about the second quarter. I think it was 5-2 Lauderdale's way, but then you're able to claw back, and I thought you really took ascendancy in the game in that third quarter. You guys kicked 5 goals to there too. What was the message at half time? Obviously the boys still believe they were right in the contest.
Yeah, they did. I mean, it was about, we're working hard. We weren't working smart. And we probably weren't being smart around the contest. We'd allowed them to get the stoppage contest on their terms, and in the second half, the guys made great adjustments. I thought Cam Duffy, in his 100th game, really changed the game with the way he went around it. And Camrick and Daly and Rundle and Mott around the ball were fantastic. Our second half was really good. We had our opportunities to close it out. We didn't, but I was incredibly proud of the guys. Like, there was a lot going against them today, and everyone could see that. And they just stuck at it, and really fought the game out. So I was super proud of them. In the end, congrats to Lauderdale, and we'll just get ready to go next week in a pretty tough game.
Felt like the last quarter going into it was anyone's to win, and I thought you guys started really well early, and a major part of that was Benny Camrick's last quarter. He kind of worked his way into the game after coming back through injury. Yeah, no, he did a great job, and it was one where we had to manage his minutes a little bit, but we were able to do that in a way that he could then really have an impact in the last quarter. And he's a super player. It was great to have him back. He'll be better next week for the run. He's a bit rusty. Sam Rundle got better as the game went on. He's another guy who's had a period on the sidelines, but he's getting better and better. So, next week, Launceston are a good team. They've got a good midfield, and those boys are going to have to play really well. Yeah, I thought your forward line, especially Jay, who kicked 4, and Frenchie, who kicked 3, I thought they worked really well. And obviously Jay, in his first game back, I thought he worked in the game really well after the first quarter. Yeah, he's a really good player, and he understands the game so well. And probably the first quarter, he was probably a little bit rusty, just from having that little bit of time off. But once he adjusted to the game, and he made some good adjustments with his positioning, it was pretty hard to stop him after that. I thought the whole forward line worked pretty well. That was a really good game of footy. It could have been anyone's, and it's just the way it is sometimes. Yeah. Was there a role specifically on Kieran today? I thought that Aaron Brennan probably spent the majority of the game, and I thought he played on him really well and shut his run down off that half forward line. Yeah, look, I mean, Aaron has played on him a lot and done a good job. Today we're mixing it up a little bit, but pretty soon into the game it was sort of like we need AB on him, because Henry's a really slippery player. He doesn't get tackled too often, does he? So you got to do the work early, and AB does that really well. Yeah, obviously, as you said, Launceston next week. I think they had a 55-point win over Kingston today. No doubt you go back and you review their tape during the week, and you look to obviously next week at KG5 against those guys. Yeah, we will. We'll definitely look at what they do. I mean, the thing is, this time of year, we play each other 3 times during the year, so we know each other pretty well. You could see that with the game here today. Like, neither team was able to get a lot of really clean football. It was a very contested game because we know how each other plays. I expect next week will be pretty similar, and looking forward to it. I mean, it's a great comp. This year there's been 4 really good teams in it, and it's down to our 4 teams, and we'll see how we go. Playing Will Ellis out of the game? Oh, look, I hope so. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. It's the sort of stuff where some guys will get checked up on Monday, and we'll sort of have a bit of a diagnosis then. Bailey Best, I think he had a head clash with field goal change in the last quarter. Was he all right? Or? Yeah, I think he was all right. John Geard had a head clash, I think, in the 3rd term. Yep. And he sort of was rested the rest of the game as a precaution. Our medicos will do the testing with him and see how he is. 6-point win in the end, but that was a cracking game of football, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was a really good game. I think the people that come along would have certainly got their money's worth and enjoyed not only the game but all the different contests all over the ground. So,
Yeah, it was a really good game.
Felt like that first quarter was obviously scores locked at quarter time, so it reflected in how tight the contest was, and then you guys had a breakaway, and I thought you really got on top in the contest around the ground in the second quarter.
Yeah, look, I thought we were able to get a little bit more run from the stoppages, but look, it was really tight for the whole game, and there was sort of no real good fluency with the ball. Too often they were able to get through the stoppages at different stages, and that sort of hurt us a bit. But overall, it was a great finals game where it was just a battle inside, and there was matchups like Trupp on Gracie. That was obviously been a great contest over the last 4 outings, and then you go into Bowden on Aussie Shore, so that was another interesting one. Then Webster on Ben McGuinness up forward, and so there was lots of side highlights as well, which was really good, I thought, through the game.
Speaking of that Grace and Trupp matchup, I thought Truppy probably had him for a majority of the contest, and then Grace kind of got off the chain a bit in the second half, but I thought Truppy's ability to just wheel him back in the last stage of the game was really
yeah, look, he's a quality player, and I suppose Grace is the state full forward, Trupp is the state full back, and to see those guys match up, it's really good. So, but what we know is Grace can kick goals quickly, so you can't drop off him at any stage, and you need to stay on him. And he sliced us open a couple of times, which that's what he can do. But overall, I thought probably Truppy might have got him on the day, but it was a good battle.
Yeah, that second quarter was 5 goals to 2 your way, and then they kind of flipped on its head in the third, and it was Glenorchy 5 goals to 2 your way. I guess the message going into the last quarter was did the boys, I think Saunders kicked the goal on the siren, and the boys really they had that belief going into the last quarter.
Yeah, I think that was a really good moment for us to get that, I suppose, that up and about feeling going into the last quarter, and they were probably on top of us at that stage, so we to claw one back was really important for us. And look, there's a bit of a slight breeze going down favoured the bottom end, which we had in the last quarter, but it certainly I don't think that had much effect on the game, because the last quarter was pretty tight, and they come back at us a couple of times, and we come back at them, and so the last quarter was a great game.
I thought the key moment of that last quarter was probably, I think it was about 5 minutes in, and Nick Baker got an intercept from Tim Butterworth cross half back, and he handballed over the top, I forget who the player was, and Smithy kicked the goal onwards, and now I think from that point on you guys kicked 4 in a row. Yeah. I guess does a play like that obviously instill belief in the boys that gets gets them up and about, and it instills the belief that they can go on and win a game like that?
Yeah, look, it does that, and I thought Baker had a very good game, but certainly gets the guys up and about, and also puts the opposition, when you pull that kick across the ground and it misses, you sort of just have a bit of a lull there, and I suppose from then on they're probably a little bit hesitant to take that kick in that particular game or that stage of the game. But that was another big moment for us. Little things like Henry making that spoil in the last 9 minutes when they had a bit of momentum going, and that changes the games. We would get another stoppage in our forward line, and that sort of stuff. So those games were really good. Burge had a couple of really good efforts through the game and some really tough tackles. So there was some really good efforts by a lot of individuals, but I thought overall the team was pretty good.
I thought Bryce in his return, he really instilled a bit of belief in the boys, and obviously being a captain, he brings that intensity and the belief that he can get the boys up and about.
Yeah, look, Bryce is a great leader for the club, and I think he had about 27 touches for the game, and he played different roles all through the game. He had a bit of a go at Mott at different stages, and then went forward, and then I think he started on the bench in the second half, and then come on and got a fair bit of the ball. So, Bryce, just having Bryce back, that's a massive thing for the club. And he's a great leader, and he gets in people's faces, and he really works hard on the ground, but he also wants to win, and it's good to see him out there.
I thought the tandem of Sam Siggins and Hayden Smith in the ruck, I thought today worked really well against Cam Duffy.
Yeah, look, I suppose the good thing about Siggins is he gets a lot of the ball, and I think Siggo had about 27 touches today, and he had some, and he kicks the ball a long way, so he got some deep entries for us, but he also can play in the ruck, which gives Hayden a bit of a chop out or we throw him forward, and then you've got another guy that's 6'5" up forward that can try and just stretch the opposition a little bit. So yeah, I think that will work well through the finals. We'll try that a fair bit more.
A win like today obviously gives you a lot of belief going into next week against North Lonnie up in Launceston.
Yeah, it does. We've had some really good battles over the journey with North Launceston. Obviously a quality team, and obviously favourites to go all the way. So we'll go up there, and so we certainly won't back away from the challenge. We enjoy the challenge, and we've had 2 good games, 1 bad game against them this year. So we've sort of just got to try and find that form to make sure we go up there and have a good run.
Yeah, it's been a fair bit of talk in the last few weeks. Obviously, the last few roster games hadn't gone as the way you guys had planned, but I felt like today you guys really worked your way back into some pretty exceptional form.
Yeah, look, it's been funny. We've lost, I think it was 4 out of our last 5 games, but the way the boys are at training and the club, you wouldn't think that was the case. You would think that we've won all those games, and the belief that they had in each other and the I suppose the morale around the club was really high.
Yeah.
So there was never anybody walking around the club with their heads down, but it was all positive, and we had some honest reviews and showed them some stuff that we probably didn't get right. All accepted that and continue to move forward.
Yeah, clean bill of health. I think Phil might have come off with a head injury in the last.
Yeah, I think he just had a bit of a clash, but he was fine. He finished the game out. Wiggins might have, I'm not sure, he was bandaged up pretty well towards the end, but I'm not sure what he did. Apart from that, I think everybody got through pretty well.
Yep, spoke on Thursday night that Josh McGuinness wouldn't play if he wasn't 100% right, and obviously he didn't line up today, but is he a chance for next week?
He's certainly a chance next week. He did another 3 sessions this week, so if he gets through the 3 sessions next week, he'll play. There's another day where we play on Sunday, so just gives him another day to get himself right. But we still won't play him unless we're 100% sure that he's going to get through. Hamstrings are funny because if you do a hamstring, you're out for the rest of the season, and compared to an ankle where you can play through that during the game and get it strapped up, hamstrings, you're gone. So we certainly won't take him into the games with a cloud over him.
That extra day break, obviously play Sunday next week, will probably give the boys a bit more recovery time and be beneficial in the long run.
Yeah, it's always good to have a bit more time, and so we'll use that. We'll freshen up and look forward to the next challenge.